there, my little lovelies. So before I started recording, I did manage to add the ribbon to the cups. I just took apart a bit of the seam and then sewed down the inside. And I also did like a zigzag stitch on the inside too to keep it from fraying, because I didn't do it on the lining fabric. The lining fabric will fray. So yeah. This cup is for this side. This cup is for this side. I kind of centered the bottom of the ribbon to, like the edge of the ribbon to this, if you can see. I just realized this one's a bit crooked. This one is a bit crooked. So I will see if I want to change that. I mean, it's not too crooked. Just ever so slightly bit crooked. So I will have to alter this one later. But I did also do some alterations to the back panel, because before this panel was like too loose and there was too much fabric here in comparison to this panel on the other side. So I had to do some alterations over there. And I'm planning on just ripping the seams at the top over here. Because if you can see, I don't think you can see it very clearly. But if you look closely, you can see the seams. The two lines over here are like the boning channels. So I'll have to rip it a bit at the top, so that way I can stitch it around. Or maybe I just have to rip the entire thing out. I think it'll be easier if I rip the entire thing out. A pity, but oh well. So yeah.
Hello, so voiceover Lulu. Right now I am just picking apart the seam a little bit because some of the thread got caught inside the machine, and whenever that happens the thread becomes all dirty and gray, which makes it look very bad and ugly. So yeah, that's probably a sign that I should clean my machine, because I haven't cleaned my machine since I started using it, which is about a year and a half now, I'd say, a little over a year. So yeah, I will have to find time to clean my machine. So yeah, afterwards I am just pinning the lining and the nice fabric together. That way I can do like a straight stitch around it to attach the two sides, so that way it's easier to pin the bodice to it, because the bodice is going to be pretty hard to pin. Yeah, because it's in like that whole curved cup shape. And I decided that I wanted to hide the raw edges of the cup on the inside, between the lining and the nice fabric on the outside, which means I have a bunch of pinning I have to do, and that's going to be an absolute pain to sew. So yeah, I actually had to take apart all the boning channels because I realized that I added them too early. I had to sew it on inside out, right sides together, but with the boning channels in the way, I couldn't do that. Because I had to do that if I wanted to tuck the raw edges of the cup on the inside. So yeah, that was a bit annoying. So yeah, all that hour of work went to waste. Not that you guys actually saw what I was doing when I was sewing the boning channels, but Next time I will have to keep that in mind. I should only sew the boning channels once I am certain that it's mostly done. Unless I want to just attach the cups to the lining and the nice fabric on the outside, just normally, and I don't know, use a bias tape to seal the raw edges, because I could do that. Because like the tutorial I was watching, they did that. And I think that was what I was trying to follow, but I forgot that I was making my top in like a different way. So yeah. Right now that is me picking apart the boning channels, I'm pretty sure. I hate seam ripping. It takes so much time. And like, I'm always so scared that I'm gonna accidentally like cut one of the threads in the fabric instead of like the thread that I sewed. Because like the fabric is a light pink, the thread is white, so it blends in together very well. Too well almost. Same thing with the back lining layer, because the inside lining layer is also white. So yeah, it all just blends in together into just one big mess of white. And I wear glasses and my eyesight is horrible, which does not bode well with sewing, because sewing requires a lot of precision and good eyesight. So yeah, I somehow managed though. Yeah. Anything else to note that happened that day? Oh right, I was listening to this really nice story online. I was listening to this YouTuber talk about this like horror story. I think it was kind of like a story off of Reddit or something, because most of the time these kinds of horror stories come from Reddit actually. So yeah, he was like talking about the story, reading it out loud. It was a very interesting story. It was actually very sweet, because usually whenever I listen to this YouTuber's videos, it's more on the dark side, the creepy side. Like he talks about all kinds of like missing person mysteries, people going missing in the woods forever, a lot of like sad things like the Franklin expedition, and this story about these people in the past that went on this trail that went through California or something, except they all kind of because like they tried to take a shortcut. These people were like immigrants back when people were just first coming to North America. They were trying to take a shortcut, except it wasn't really a shortcut, and it ended up with a bunch of people dying and a bunch of people turning to some immoral ways of getting food, because it was during winter. They were stranded there for a bit of winter, I think. I don't know if it was in the entire winter. I can't quite remember. But yeah, it was very sad, because then a lot of people didn't survive it. So yeah, that is usually the stuff that this YouTuber talks about, except for this one video. Like, I was expecting some kind of super duper scary horror story, which I don't mind. That's usually what I listen to when I sew. But nope, it was very goofy and very fun and very comedic. Like, it was supernatural, yes, but it was also very funny. And I don't know, it really made my day. It was really fun to listen to. Though I think it was pretty long. I think it was like an hour long. I liked it though. I loved it. I am so re-listening to it again and again and again. I can't exactly remember what the YouTube title is, but I remember it talked about like this guy who became like this Uber driver for the supernatural beings. And I don't know, it was really, really sweet because I guess his circumstances weren't really that well because he was struggling with life and whatnot. He had no family, no friends, so he turned to this job posting, which was a job posting for being an Uber, except he didn't read the fine print, which was that he would be escorting and driving supernatural beings. But the supernatural beings were actually quite nice, other than the Kelpie, except he kind of did deserve almost being strangled and getting into a car crash, because like it is, I'd say it's pretty rude to like just ask someone, hey, what are you? Like, it's very insensitive. So he kind of deserved that. I mean, he turned out fine. It was all alright. They fixed him up very quickly. Yeah. It was very fun. So yeah, you guys should check it out. Just search up, I'm a Uber for the supernatural, and it should pop up, I think. So yeah, I really enjoyed that story. Anyways, I believe I am still seam ripping things. Or maybe I'm pinning it together now. I was not paying attention. I think I'm sewing. So I'm pretty sure I pin it all right sides together. So I'm sewing the cups and the top half of the bodice portion. So yeah, I wasn't able to sew the entire cup on nicely and properly. But I managed to sew most of it on. The way I sewed it on was I first sewed the cup to the nice side, I believe, and then I first pinned it to the nice side, and then from there I sewed it on real quick, and then I pinned the rest of it, but I wasn't able to pin it fully because I didn't have enough space to actually pin it and turn it fully inside out. So I was only able to like pin half of the lining to the cup, and I had to do the rest by hand, which was fine. It was actually quite soothing, just stitching everything together. So yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!